I'm no salesman. Fuck, I'm not even a podcaster. But what I am is a man with balls. And when I want to trim my balls, I use the Manscaped Lawnmower 4.0. And if you want to use the same, Sheriff Show at manscaped.com for 20% off. That's code Sheriff Show, SHERIFFSHOW at manscaped.com for 20% off, plus free shipping. Summer's approaching, and guys, there's no point going into the gym and busting your arse in the gym, forgetting muscles and covering them up with fucking chest hair. Manscaped Lawnmower 4.0, shave that right off, have the sun glistening off those pecs. A Greek Adonis. Manscaped. Women also, because some women now have balls, so you can fucking get them shaved as well with the Lawnmower 4.0. Remember, code Sheriff Show for 20% off. That's code Sheriff Show. I'm Killian Sheridan, and welcome to the Sheriff Show with Lewis Capaldi. Killian Sheridan, and welcome to the Sheriff Show with Lewis Capaldi. Welcome to the Sheriff Show. I had to check the name there. I'm Killian Sheridan, and welcome to the Sheriff Show with Lewis Capaldi. And with the one and only Darren Connell. Thank you very much, Darren. Little
cheers, mate.
Round of applause. Gave you a main shout out there instead of the usual one from previous weeks where I've kind of went on and then had to go back and be like, oh, and Darren Connell.
Yeah. Treating me like a dog.
Up until today, maybe, yeah. Yeah. Sit. So yeah, if Lewis doesn't get the finger out, it could be Sheriff Show with Darren Connell with Lewis Capaldi. But here, I'll give him another year.
I might be dead by then.
See it at the Player of the Year awards there the other night. Loads of people kept coming up talking about the podcast, and the one thing everyone was saying was, When's Lewis going to be on? When's Lewis going to be on? And I was like, oh, I'm kind of regretting that joke now.
Yeah.
I just thought, hey, tune in. You never know. Any day.
Because everybody, I think they're expecting it at some stage.
I'm kind of afraid to say this, but I have flirted with the idea of when he does come on, that'll be the last episode. Go out in a bang, Dave Chappelle style.
I think that'd be a good idea.
But I mean, I'll happily go back on my word. I don't mind doing that. Yeah, so a long weekend there. Celebrating winning the league. It was a good fun weekend. For those who aren't aware, my team Dundee just won the Scottish Championship on the last day of the season, last game. Winner take all game. You watched it, by the way, didn't you?
Yes.
It was a mental game, wasn't it?
It was mental.
That first half was crazy.
What was it? 10. It was like 2 each within 15 minutes or something.
I think 15 or 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Maybe 15 minutes, yeah.
Yeah, it was brilliant.
And then throw in the goal that their centre half actually scored. That fucking
Peach.
30-yard on the spin volley. Top corner. See, when he done it and I was watching it, I do it quite a lot. If I'm watching the game and I see someone from the other team shoot from like 30 yards, straight away I think, brilliant. Like it's not going to go. The chances of them going in is rarely. And when he was lining up that shot, I was like, almost like clapping, like, yes, well done.
Yeah.
And then I had to backtrack on that. It was crazy. Fucking fair play. And then he kind of fucked up the celebration. I think he was concentrating too much on the bigger picture of nothing's happened yet. I was like, kind of took away from the goal, took a bit of shine off the goal.
Did you celebrate? Did you have a couple of beers?
Yeah, had quite a few. Yeah.
Good
So
on you.
what we did, we went Friday night. We went back to Dundee to the stadium. The team kind of had our own little celebration, and then we had kind of a family day thing on Saturday morning at the stadium, and then all the players, we went out Saturday, and then Sunday we had to go for a civic reception at Dundee City Hall. I presume that's what it would have been, City Hall. Was out in the balcony giving us trophy in the air and all that, and then never heard so many people boo at one time.
Boo?
Nah, I'm joking. And then we had our Player of the Year awards Sunday night. So it was a weekend with everything, you know. It was tough as in you're having late nights and then getting up to look fresh faced and do it all again. And then probably the worst part is the Monday after it all. And then I was thinking, a bit jealous of Darren here that he's given up these days of hungoverness and clear-headed after some nice celebrations.
For the straight edge life, mate.
Yeah, I know. That's why I couldn't believe I got the podcast out on Monday.
Yeah.
That was the only bit of productivity I done all day. Monday. But yeah, we're here.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Right, so you've got quite a large Instagram following.
Yeah.
And you've got a lot of famous players, like massive players that follow you. See, when you share the silly clips from the podcast, are any of them like, what the fuck is happening?
Well, that was one thing I was going to say about it. That one said name, I don't want to name him. Maybe I can name him in the future when he does come on.
Yeah.
But one of those names declined an invitation onto the podcast because it isn't serious enough.
Yeah.
And it was just, or not that it isn't serious enough, that it's just too non-serious.
Yeah.
It's just too non-serious.
Do you think
this moment in time?
Do you think he's seen the clip of me talking about my dad's bell end?
I think so, because I think, who hasn't at this stage? Has your dad, by the way?
Yes.
Really?
Yep.
What did he say?
People in his work approached him and told him. Yeah.
What did they say?
He never really said anything to me. My mum told us.
Yeah.
And I think my dad's just like, fuck it.
Class.
I just find that quite funny how there's some like superstar football players out there like watching me talk about my dad's bell end and they're like, sorry, Killian, we can't come on.
Yeah, well, that was the thing when I actually today put up a little football post from the whole weekend and celebrating and stuff and with the team. And then I was like, fuck, this is the first time I've put up a football post in weeks. Everything is just little fucking stupid clips that I'm trying to put together. Or fucking Manscaped ads.
Yeah.
Trying to push the numbers weren't great. All of you. I'm sure there was a lot of people saying, someone else will do it. Someone else will use the code.
Yeah. I've had a shave with that, by the way. It's incredible.
It's a few of the other lads in the team.
Yeah.
We're looking magnificent
down
in that region. But in a totally safe way, that it was fully consensual.
Yeah.
Review for me. I wrote down here about celebrating John Terry style. And I did a little bit. And I thought about going. So after the game, there was two lads who weren't in the match day squad there was 2 other injured boys. And afterwards, we were kind of told that we had to put a jersey on to go back out after onto the pitch and stuff with the trophy for photos. So we went as far as an actual jersey on, but still had trousers and stuff on. But I was thinking beforehand, it would have been funny to just go like completely all in John Terry, go full kit, like water on the jersey as if there was sweat.
Shin guards.
Yeah, I should have went the whole way.
Yeah. Do you think if in front of the BBC cameras, if you just did like some fake slide tackles and everything to get some dirt on?
Astro. It was an Astro.
It
It was an Astro. Ockleview. Ockleview or Ockleview? Ockleview, I think. But yeah, no, all of that went through my head. But I didn't do it. And then I was even thinking when I went out with the trophy on the, because when you're doing the trophy thing in front of everyone, I was still a little bit, because I've been injured most of the season as well. I didn't really play enough to be like giving it the full. Yes, I really like. Without me, this wouldn't have happened. Yes.
Yeah.
And I was kind of like having to do a little in between, a little subdued celebration.
Humble.
Yeah, a humble celebration.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm kind of regretting not doing it. And then the other thing, I could go social media style and do it. I could go John Terry on social media.
Yeah.
And just keep talking about it. Keep talking about myself as a champion.
Morning champions.
I would have.
I don't always walk out onto the balcony of Dundee City Hall, but when I do, I do it as a champion.
The Billy McNeil when he was holding the European Cup proper.
Serious.
You should have stood there like that.
Caesar?
Yeah.
Yeah. Tested my Celtic knowledge there. See, when I first moved over to Celtic, I didn't know anything about the Lisbon Lions or anything.
No.
Nothing. Didn't know the legendary status of them or anything like that.
Did you get like some sort of induction? See, when I worked for Virgin, I started.
It was more of not knowing them was my induction, of like not giving them probably the I don't know what the word is, the respect. Not that I was disrespectful to them or anything, but if you were talking to them or whatever when you were like 17 in the youth team, and then afterwards one of the coaches or someone will go like, "Do you have any idea who you were just talking to?" I was like, "No."
Yeah.
And then that was the kind of the induction to say, "That was a Lisbon Lion."
Like, that guy's played 1,300 games for Celtic, mate. You're like, all right.
Scored 900 goals. Aye, but who was he up against? Yeah, I think that was pretty much, that was the whole winning the league wrap up of winning the league.
Did you go out in Dundee?
Yeah. First time I've been out in Dundee as well.
What'd you think?
It's all right. It was good because it was the first time the whole team was like all out, like for a full night out and stuff. And it's kind of time where like nothing bad really going to happen. Nothing bad did happen anyway, but it was the one time where you kind of like free reign to just.
Yeah. Did you play at Celtic when Stratton banned the team for going out to Scotland?
Yeah.
You had to go to London?
No, we were banned from going out in Glasgow, and it was just because stuff had happened with
Darnell Day.
A few lads out in town. Stuff had happened.
So was it the Darnell Day incident at Ashton Lane?
Maybe allegedly, but
allegedly. Okay.
Yeah, it was the worst timing ever because it was just when I was getting a run in the first team, and I wasn't allowed out in Glasgow. And I was like, I'm going to be like the man here. I'm fucking going out as a Celtic player, but I couldn't. Have to go to Edinburgh. We were banned from Glasgow.
It was Glasgow,
and
right?
yeah, we had to go out in Edinburgh.
Edinburgh's shite for a night
During
out as
my
well,
fucking
Strachan doesn't drink, didn't
my
he?
15 minutes of fame wasted. No, I don't think so.
Did you have images of you like swaggering into Carbon on Tuesday night, like pure Killian? Yeah,
All taken away from me. All taken away
We
from me.
cunt.
I remember hearing about an interview with Strachan. I don't know who I heard it from, but he had 2 bananas and a coffee for his breakfast every day, and everybody copied him or something. I think I heard James Forrest talking about that. But I went through a time I was like, I'm going to have 2 bananas for my breakfast, and I never done it.
I wouldn't say that's a bad breakfast by any means.
Yeah. No, I'm just like...
Were you
know,
saying it as if it was good or bad?
no, it's good. It's
Okay.
good. I don't even know why I brought that up. It was just a memory I've had. But
2 bananas and a
that's
coffee.
why he played till he was 49.
That's why he played 1,700 games. He actually played. Did he not play till he was about 40 or something?
Yeah.
He played, yeah. He used to do the boxes in training sometimes with the first team, and he was still unreal. Like, would never give the ball away.
So explain to me what boxes are.
The box is like just a little 5v2 possession. It's like
Right.
done
yeah,
more.
2 in the middle, 5
Yeah.
round about, and you up at right. Okay.
Yeah, it's done more as a warm up, really
Yeah.
kind of exercise. But he was so good. Like, I remember being in boxes that he would be taking part in, and I'd be in 10 times more than he would. Plus, I'd rarely done them back in Ireland. I came over to Celtic, and then within a few months, I was doing them with the first team. I was like, ooh,
Breathing out your arse.
out of my depth here, yeah. And they're too small where you can run about in either, so you can't like hide it or mask it with
Yeah.
effort. It's
Yeah.
it's all about a little bit of skill. What else what can I try and segue into nicely here? Do you have any secret social media accounts? Not that you own, like that you pretend you're someone else. Like, I mean, a page that you follow, but you don't want to share it too much with people because you don't want them to really know about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. But you don't want to say.
Don't want to say.
I've got there was a good one I saw last week, and I always want to like share stuff from it, but a few times I kind of like copy some of their mannerisms, so I don't want to share it, and then people are like, oh, he's just fucking copying them.
Yeah.
So it's an Instagram page. It's an Instagram page, a Twitter page, and actually a podcast as well. But I'm afraid to give them up, and I'll end up outing myself
Yeah.
as an imposter.
It's. I imagine if it was like something the sheriff or something.
Sheriff Bo.
Aye. Yeah, I've got a page. It's an art page that posts really funky, cool photos that I love.
Yeah.
Like, I love the style of like Blade Runner and,
Okay, yeah.
you know, all that stuff. And I'm like, yeah, I'm not telling anybody about that. I'm just going to post the photos, and
Would you actually then go and post the photos?
I put them on my Instagram. I mean, obviously, it's not that I'm stealing it. It's so obvious that it's an artist.
Oh, okay.
But I'm,
yeah,
I'm just,
yeah.
I'm not
But
telling
like, you're
you.
not reposting their story, or
Well-
like you posting it up where you can see it's their page.
No.
Okay,
But on the
nice,
photo, it will tell you the artist. It will tell you who the artist
that's
is.
okay. That's
Yeah.
okay.
But I'm not telling you where I'm getting them from.
That's okay. Paul, do you have anything like that?
Don't think so.
No.
No.
Yeah.
Couple of porn pages that I'm kidding on. Jokes.
Keeping that secret for other reasons.
Yes. So I don't want to go to jail. Shouldn't joke about that, should I?
No.
Yeah, as long as people know it's a joke, that's okay.
Yeah.
Another thing that happened on Instagram was do you know about this? I think there's a trick where people can go and, I don't know if they install it onto their page or they sign up for it or something, but it basically makes your page go and like hundreds of people's stories. And then it makes the person think, they might see it, and then they might say, oh, they've liked a few of my stories, and then they might get a follow.
Right.
But it's all like done through I think there's a program you can get.
It's a bot.
A
A like bot.
maybe, but it's from an actual official account. I was getting it done. I was getting it done to me from this, because when you see like the blue tick, like
Yeah.
You notice.
you notice it. Yeah, I'm not looking at fucking other normal ones. Like
That's
you know,
nice to know.
The normal scum, the pigs.
And I just went into a thing and he was like, he does something for Tomorrowland. It's like, oh, fucking pretty cool person. Like in my things, he had like 60,000 followers. And I noticed it like a few times. I weirdly doesn't follow me, but has liked 2 or 3 of my stories over the last whatever week. And then I went in and I was like, oh, hey, fuck, I'll follow him just to see, have a look at his stuff. Looks pretty cool. And yeah, nothing but. So I'm convinced he has that thing put in, because there was no reason for him to have seen the stories I was posting. Like I wasn't tagging Tomorrowland or him in it or anything.
Yeah.
It might have been one of the. It's your dad's. It's your dad's story.
Aye, so if that's went on to like the trending feed, the discovery pages of
Yeah.
people, you know, like the Reels discovery page.
How do you get onto those? No, but
You
it
just
it
need
would
people
only
to be
been
liking it and
stories.
stuff.
Would have only been stories.
Oh yeah, because it
not a
wasn't put in
reel or
the Reels.
anything.
It's weird.
I'm thinking of doing that for the TikTok video this week about Instagram. Could get that out of the way early. The Instagram story count or story numbers. I always find it weird how like some days it can be almost double the amount of people that view your stories.
Mm-hmm.
And I could say that it's like an Instagram, it's all due from Instagram wanting you to use the actual Instagram camera and not use a photo, upload a photo, because if you use an Instagram camera or like the in-house app camera,
Yeah.
that it gives them more access to your camera and your data. So that's why they push for people to use the Instagram camera.
That might not be that big a lie.
Yeah. I think you've actually like found something out.
Fuck. All right, back to the drawing board.
Just go back to poisoning vegans.
I know, yeah. My friend Jamie, he said something about.
Shout out to Jamie.
But no, do you know what he said? He said, I don't know if he. Fuck it, he's not saying the story. He was saying to do something similar, but with that I worked in a bar, and when someone would ask for a non-alcoholic beer, I'd give them beer.
Yeah. That's a good one.
Or could go vice versa and say I'd give people non-alcoholic beer when they asked for beer, and they'd kid on they were drunk.
Both can work.
Yeah.
I mean, if you want an angrier response, you could say you were giving alcoholics beer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's definitely going to get the
Like a guy
responses.
comes in and he's like, I'm 4 years sober.
Yeah. Then I might I might start it off by saying, I never done this. This is completely made up. This is a joke. If you're here looking for some context to the video,
Yes.
which then proceeds.
Yeah.
I used to work in a bar. No, well, I just started off with that. Do you want in on it? How can we get you in there?
Darren,
what
you
if
could
you
start it by
said-
going, I've been sober for 7 years, and you can go, oh man, I used to work in a bar, and then tell the story, and then you can be like, mate, that's fucked up, man. Like, fuck.
So we're shoehorning reality with comedy here. I feel like I'm going against my clan of people. So I could be like, oh, I got sober when I was 28, the 17th of December, 7 years ago.
And then you could be like, are you sure that you've never... Are you sure that you're sober? And you go, because I used to work in a bar. And
Okay, then. Okay. Okay.
I tell you what, right? I'll say that again, and then I'll go into, it's the best thing I've ever done. It's been really good for me, but cut me off and say, are you sure that you're sober? Because I used to work in a bar.
Okay.
So I'm getting positive advice.
So I'm saying, how long have you been sober for?
Right, okay, go.
How long have you been sober for? Oh, that's great. Can you remember it? Okay. So then how long have you been sober for?
I got sober when I was 28. It was the 17th of December, 7 years ago. And honestly, it's the best thing I've ever done.
Really? That's brilliant. Do you miss anything about it, or?
I don't regret anything.
No.
I feel happy. It's been good for my mental health.
And are you sure you've never, in these years,
I'm sorry, man. I'm so sorry.
Who cops? Is it you?
Me.
Professional TV actor?
I was looking over to the camera to see if I was on the
I
camera.
was nearly holding it together. Because then I was thinking, it doesn't matter that you're laughing if I'm talking.
Yes.
Bastard. What was I saying? Are you sure? I said,
You can pick it up
yeah.
because you've got that bit.
Yeah.
And if you're going to edit it, then you can pick it up for here.
Okay. And are you sure you've never had any alcohol since? And I say it, I kind of regret saying it or putting it out there, but I used to work in a bar, and around coming up to Christmas, silly season, we'd have our own little kind of game in the pub. And anytime someone asked for a non-alcoholic beer, we'd sometimes give an actual beer.
So bad, man.
It's going to get a lot of bites.
Aye, man. 100%.
I love it though.
Pure trolling.
Feel like we're committing a crime.
Hey, all they have to do is check out the podcast for context and they'll know.
So are you going to continue talking about it? We need to add. So you'd
What
be
can I
like,
say onto that?
you could say sex. God, I can't even think of any sober alcohol drinks. I've not had any drink in so long.
Well, I said a non-alcoholic beer.
Yeah. Right. Okay.
You could be like, if... Oh, I don't know if you could do this, man. I was going to say, like, if you were like...
If you're questioning us, I think...
Aye, it's bad, isn't it? It's got to be like, if people come in, like, ordering... What's the alcohol-free cocktails? Mocktails?
Yeah.
And it's like, I think it's for religious reasons. I don't believe in religion, so I would just put the vodka in the daiquiri.
That is a bonfire.
I don't think you should do that, man.
That's
I
a
think you should
bonfire.
stick with the alcohol. Which
Right, we'll stick with
somebody's
that.
religious beliefs or their actual sobriety.
Go with sobriety. Because I'm sober.
We can joke about it.
Yeah. Because I'm sober, then you can say I'm the joke.
Yeah. That was the other thing I was trying to think of the last time, where it was about the... remember I was saying the guy put... And I couldn't figure out what the thing was. The guy put up a photo saying first point as a married man. And it was... then like loads of people... I don't know why it started going viral or trending, but people were replying like, oh, congratulations, well done, didn't know you got married. Or not didn't know you got married. Well done. Congrats, lucky lady. Best of luck for the two of you in your future. And I was thinking it'd be funny to do like, pretend it was the same one where you're saying, put up a thing like first point as a married man. But then they're like, oh, I didn't know you got married. I was like, no, I've been married for 15 years, but I'm just falling off the wagon now.
Aye, that'd be
Just
funny.
bring it down quite a sinister, dark route.
Yeah.
But it was more of a kind of, when I was saying it'd be like more of a sketch idea than, I don't think it would work doing a TikTok video.
Yeah, that's funny. Is that because you're married? No, I've broke my sobriety.
Or the guy saying congratulations. I'm like, what for? Oh, congratulations, what for? Oh, you just got married? No. Like, no, I've been married for 15 years, but this is the second point I've had today after being sober for 14 years. Or no, sober for 16 years.
Yeah.
But Thanks for spurring me on. Thanks for
Aye.
thanks for a little bit of push. I'm getting shots now.
So we done. Is the TikTok done?
I think yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
That should be okay. No,
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
it gets the message across.
Okay.
And it's only it was only about 30-40 seconds.
Yeah.
You'll definitely get some bites for that one.
Should
Yeah.
be all right. Speaking of, one thing that I've noticed is becoming popular. See the term toxic positivity. I think that's going full circle to people are becoming toxic negativity and are being really negative about people trying to be positive in a weird way, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Where a lot of people will like make fun of people for trying stuff, or like no matter how, if it keeps someone, if someone has to do cold water, like you've given out about a lot, if someone has to do cold water and that's their way of keeping off drink or off drugs, or makes them feel good, then you're like, I feel a bit bad making fun of them. But that seems to be the new thing that I've just described what you were doing about cold water therapies all the time. You were taking the piss out of them.
Yeah, basically, aye.
Sick.
Because when I started doing it, I was almost like, I don't want to say it.
Just realised that there. But then you've gone and went and done it, so it's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you got yourself out of it.
Yeah.
But can you see the point I'm making?
Yeah, totally.
That
Totally. Toxic negativity, toxic positivity.
Is all negativity toxic? No. Do you get like healthy negativity?
it's more of a toxic negativity. It's more toxic negativity about positivity,
right?
As opposed to like someone's trying to do the whole toxic positivity is about people being so. Isn't it about people being so positive about stuff and turning everything around?
It's kind of like, you know, like,
oh, that's a bit much.
Guys just jumped on this live just to let you know that my house burnt down last night, but, you know, staying positive, and it's like,
okay, yeah.
Maybe you shouldn't be positive about something like that, or, you know.
Yeah, like, shit happens, like, you have to acknowledge that shit happens.
There is this pure weird thing that's happening in social media where it's like, don't be negative about anything.
Yeah.
And it's like, no, come on, guys. Like, there's life happens. Like,
yeah.
Negative things happen in life. That is toxically positive.
That's actually a fair rebuttal to my...
No, but I get what you're saying. Toxic negativity is like people sitting on the internet, seeing people doing positive things with their life and going, what they fucking, let's stay to them.
But not in a, I don't think in a bitter way. In more of like a way of, I don't know, not in a bitter way, but more like taking the piss out of them. When there's no need to.
Mm-hmm.
Have you ever done cold water therapy?
I've done cryotherapy, which is colder than water.
Yes. Was that in Glasgow?
I haven't done I've done cold water stuff, cold water baths and stuff.
Yeah.
But I don't call it
therapy.
Cold water therapy. It is cold water therapy, actually. Yeah.
It'd be like some sort of like
doing
physiotherapy, isn't it? Like it'd be part of your recovery.
Yeah. Yeah. Have you ever done the cryotherapy?
Yes, I went to a place in Glasgow, and I seen a Rangers player come out, actually. Can't remember who it was.
Lorenzo Amoruso.
Aye. Nobody will get that joke, by the way.
Nice.
That's an Easter egg.
But it was...
Some might get it.
Yes, absolutely.
It was really intense.
Sorry, mate.
No, sorry. He's got the beauty of sitting behind the camera.
I know, yeah.
I know. I love it.
He's throwing grenades into this episode.
I would love to try cryo. I would really like to try
cryo, when you just cry in it. Sorry. We should do it. The three of us should do it together. I'll keep my clothes on though.
Do you not need to wear gloves and shit so that your
Aye.
feet, your fingers and your toes don't fucking fall off?
Yeah.
What? Socks, pants, and gloves.
Right.
Yeah. Because I paid, I think it was 50 quid for 3 minutes, and I was like, this is a
What?
bump. Yeah. 3 minutes, mate. But it was so, I did say, oh, I've been conned. And then about 2 minutes in, I was literally praying to God to help me. I was so cold.
Did you feel better after it?
I felt incredible. But
Did you?
And during it was mental.
How long did you? Oh, 3 minutes.
3 minutes.
Yeah, I think 3 minutes is what we used to do.
Yeah.
We had one in Poland in like our training bit. The worst training ground I've played in on all the clubs I've been at, but there was a cryotherapy machine in it. It was literally like they've got a new, like, lovely new training center now, but when I was there, it was literally the pitches were all right. It was out in the middle of nowhere, like outside the place I was in Poland, Bialystok, and it was literally in like an old school building where, sorry, not an old school building. There was still a school going on that sometimes we'd be having team meetings in this part of it, and in next door you could hear kids running around or in a classroom and stuff.
School bells.
And it was kind of like this was in the part where the cryotherapy machine was. It was like a makeshift gym / cryo room / meeting room
Wow.
/ fucking school.
That's bad.
And then our actual changing rooms where we'd go in, you go up, get the kit, was like attached onto someone's house. So there was a family living. There was a family living in the training center or in the training ground, and the downstairs, like it looked like kind of an old. I don't know. Downstairs had like the 2 or 3 plywood benches.
What, the old school cloakrooms?
Yeah. And and literally like cloaks for your pegs.
Yeah, the pegs.
And I remember one day going for a shower in. I think would have been the end of summertime, and like moving in the shower area, there was a big kind of an ice bath thing, or like basically a big bin to have your ice bath in. And I wanted to move it to have a shower, and I've kicked it out of the way, and then next thing about fucking 2 or 3 frogs started jumping around the place. Fuck. What time of year would that have been? What's frog season?
Fuck knows.
Do you get frogs in Glasgow? I was kidding on. Obviously you do. But
I was in the swimming pool the other day last week, and I was in the sauna talking to this old guy who's like, he was in his 80s. Was he 85 or 86? Did he say? He said he's been in like 2,000 different cities across the world. That he's lived in all this. Did you know Facebook used to have a function up in the top right corner where you click it, where you click the Facebook logo, and you could go in and it would be a list of every city in every country, and you could tick off everyone you've been in.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Places, it was called on top. Facebook Places.
Was it?
Yeah.
So I kind of knew about that. Oh, he was explaining it to me as if I didn't know about it. His explanation of it wasn't great, or
Right.
his description. And so anyway, I was chatting to him like about all the places he's been in and talking about his travels. And then next thing I just hear this big shout from the swimming pool. Fuck's sake. And it was like, remember Mikey in Big Brother? When he's standing in the pool and gets fucked with the ball.
Uh-huh.
It was exactly like that. I've looked around and I just see this guy standing like halfway down the pool, and he's hitting the floating barrier for the lanes. You know what it's called. And so he's trying like hitting that against the water as if it's done something to him, and I can see him holding his finger. And he's walking down like holding his hand, like, fuck's sake, shouting, going over to pointing up to the reception desk and stuff like, the fuck, yeah. Then I look around and I was like, what the fuck's happened here? And I can see this woman in the lane, but she's swimming right bang in the middle of the lane doing backstroke, so she can't see what's coming her way or anything. And the guy's a proper swimmer, and he was obviously swimming down, and he saw her coming, and he's had to swerve out of the way, and he's caught his finger in the floating railing and lost it. Fucking
Decided to hit an inanimate object that's literally done nothing.
About 3 or 4 times he's like picked it up, like
Slammed
tried
it.
to slam it, trying to slam a float into the water. Like it's a futile gesture.
Darren, you like a sauna, didn't you?
I love a sauna in a steam room. Brilliant.
I ended up in that sauna talking to the guy for about half an hour,
Aye.
nearly roasting away, melting away.
What is it about old guys in saunas, man?
No.
Well, that's how our conversation started. I came in and he was standing up against the door, or just beside the door. So I've come in and he goes in with a walking stick, and so I've opened it. I was like, "Oh, do you want me to hold the door open? Are you leaving now?" And he's like, "No, I'm just standing up to keep the left side of me warm." So then I was chatting. I was like, "Oh, do you get quite a lot of relief, like for your pain and stuff in here?" And I was like, "Yeah, it's much better. I can never get treatment here anyway with NHS and stuff like this." And then that's when he got into, I just go abroad and get all my treatment done. So he's had all his heart surgeries and stuff, pacemakers put in all abroad.
Fuck that, man.
But he goes to me, he goes, "Oh yeah, 13 years ago I had a fatal heart attack." And I was like,
No, you didn't.
"Not so fatal."
Pretty sure by definition you didn't have a fatal heart attack.
Yeah.
And talking about Facebook, I don't know why this just came to why I remembered this, but a few years ago there was like some sort of, I can't remember what natural disaster it was, but there's this person that I used to go to school with, and they're a bit of a roaster, and it came up, I remember it coming up on Facebook being like, let everybody know that you're safe by marking yourself safe at such and such like natural disaster, like the Japanese tsunami, and this person like marked himself as safe, and people were like, "Oh, you in whatever?" And they're like, "No, it just came up, and I just thought I'd let everybody know that I'm safe." It's like, oh my god,
That's like the thing when people are taking the piss out of someone on Facebook, and they're like, it's like someone puts up something about a missing dog or something, or asking someone to share something, and they're like liked and shared in Perth or fucking anywhere. Now that's toxic negativity I can get behind.
I bet the person's went missing in like fucking Calgary, Alberta, in Canada. And it's like shared Easter house, and you're like, I don't think they're an Easter house.
Yeah. Or share my fucking podcast. Like, you're sharing a missing dog for Texas, mate. Gonna please just like my podcast page and share it once.
Do you know that there's, I don't know if you all know this and we can cut this a bit. Do you know that there's a guy in Scotland who's like wanted for like multiple rapes in like Texas, and he's pretending to be somebody else?
Really?
Did we talk about this, Tom?
Yes. I don't know much about it, but the guys went full method acting. He's been interviewed on TV, and he's like, "How dare you? I shall not be accused of being a rapist."
Oh, so they're all saying this is like you're the guy.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it is him. It's him. And he's like, "No, he's dead. I'm somebody else. Like, you've got me."
Kaiser
mixed up."
Swayze.
He had like an oxygen mask on, and he's like, "I can't even stand up. How dare you?"
No. Have you shared this somewhere?
Maybe. I can't remember.
Starting to ring a bell. Or maybe you've just done it so well there that I feel like I've saw it somewhere. I actually think that's what's happened there.
He's like pretending to be an English gentleman, and he's with his girlfriend, and she's like, "Don't stand up. Don't stand up."
Did they not pretend to stand up at one point? And he like fell over.
Yeah.
The English gent is really an American fugitive wanted for rape and fraud. AI technology allegedly proves that Arthur Knight is really Nicholas Rossi. And this is real, man. This is like real.
I'm gonna check him out.
US fraudster who faked his death has fled to Scotland. And
And whereabouts in Scotland?
that's him there with his oxygen mask. It's like a Monty Python sketch, mate. See, when you see the guy getting interviewed, it is literally like Monty Python and that. It's crazy, man.
It's like a sleep apnea machine that he's wearing during the day.
And what age is he?
35, facing extradition to the US, and that's him like before and after. Like, so he's literally
how has he not been
because
deported yet?
he's
Or extradited?
they're trying to prove, they need to prove that he is who he is. He's literally put a tweed suit and an oxygen mask on and a pair of glasses and is like, no,
Surely
you've
they could
got it
just-
wrong.
Like force him for a DNA thing,
Uh-huh.
no?
Surely.
Christian fail. I'm so sorry.
See last time I was saying about I wanted to do make a mockumentary on a footballer thing. So I had stuff written down and had a plan to do it, and then just kind of came in and out of like interest in doing it. And then when I moved to New Zealand, and I went to view a house to stay in it, and the guy who owns it just happened to be there, and he was saying, "Look, I'm not usually in the country, but I can show you around it." Blah blah blah. I spend most of my time between London and Los Angeles. I'm a writer. I'm like, oh, pretty cool. And then so anyway, viewed the like lovely house on the sea, and then when I got out, I was like, I'm just gonna Google the guy's name, and he's like a full on like Hollywood writer, like wrote Bohemian Rhapsody,
Wow.
The Theory of Everything, The Two Popes, like
Fucking hell.
Oscar winning films, and he's the writer.
Amazing.
So then after that, I was like, fuck, I should go and like, I'll try and have a meeting with him, like see if I can get a coffee with him or something. So I got agreed to take the house pretty much straight away anyway. And then I managed to meet him up for a coffee. And I was like, oh, look, I've got this idea, blah, 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 running him through things.
Did you pitch him?
Yeah. Yeah.
Fucking hell.
Well, it wasn't so much. I didn't go in with the intention of doing that, but I went there more as a kind of just to have a meeting to like get tips off him or any bit of advice or anything. And he ended up being like, well, what do you have? Like, can you show me? So that's why I was showing him everything. And he was like, oh, yeah, that'd be funny, interesting, blah, blah, blah. Like football documentaries are really popular now. But you should change it to this and have it in this way, and then it won't just be funny and then there's nothing else to it. This way, if you can change things, you can have like a story, you can go on to another season, a season after that. And I was talking through the whole thing. I was like, oh. So yeah, it ended up almost being like, well, a pitch. Yeah. But I wasn't pitching it to him for him to be like, oh, that's amazing, come and work for me or do it with me.
Would you have?
Yeah, of course.
Hi. That's brilliant, man.
Yeah, so weird. And he was actually really nice, down to earth guy. Anthony McCartan is his name, by the way. Should have said that earlier on.
Is he British?
He is New Zealand.
Yeah.
New Zealander. He's
Yes, I'd say New
Zealandy.
Hi. That's brilliant, man.
He is a New Zealander.
I thought you just like asked him for a coffee and then just went, oh, just got to pitch you my idea, man.
By the way, sorry, I just fell out open on that page. Yeah, so that I had the hunger to do it while I was down there. Got a fucking, what's it called? Final draft. Is that the program?
Yeah.
Ended up getting that and everything. Was firing about. Was trying to get in touch with people, get stuff done with it, and then just kind of just died a death. I just never
You should
lost
start.
interest in doing it.
You should start it back up, mate.
Uh,
I can open some doors for you. That one there. I'm only saying that because I want to be in it.
yeah, of course. Co-writer,
Yes.
co-creator.
Yeah. That would be funny, man. I don't think that's been done before. See, this is when you need to be careful. You don't talk about
I might need
ideas.
to cut out the last minute.
Don't talk about ideas on the podcast because there'll be comedians watching.
Do you think it's, yeah, well, I used to think, I know the day is going to come. The big thing I was afraid of was I'll see one being released and I'll be pissed off at myself because I'll be like, fucking, I knew I should have went and done that. But then since I had the idea of doing it, there was a thing on ITV a few years ago, a footballing comedy. And then there was also Ted Lasso. And then I saw them and I was like, it's okay. They're nothing like I would have in my head.
Yeah.
I think they're shit, basically.
You ever done that, Don? You ever had an idea and then it's popped up?
Yes, I have. And it's been quite comical. Do you know, me and a bunch of Twitter friends, I love horror movies,
Yeah.
right? And me and a bunch of Twitter pals that love horror, I said for years that I was going to make a film called The Shed. And it was about a haunted shed in a garden. And every time I tweeted about it, I used to add stupider things to it,
Yeah.
right? It just got more mental. We kept a freak in a shed and he ate people and stuff. And honestly, like, we used to do this for years. And then I went like 2 years and I never spoke to them. And I was just looking through Amazon Prime one day and there was a film called The Shed.
No way.
And I was genuinely like, no fucking way. And I copy and I pasted it and I sent it to them. I was like, no way, there's a film called The Shed. And it was really similar to what we used to speak about. I found that quite funny.
Did you go and watch it?
20 minutes or something. I was like, what a shite.
A haunted hedge.
A haunted shed in a garden.
Did I say hedge there? Maybe we should change it to The Hedge.
That can be the next one.
That's a sequel.
Aye, but I've watched some comedies and I'm like, kind of,
Something similar.
yeah.
I used to call myself the Big Yin. And then I saw there's a comedian that calls himself that now.
I think his Alzheimer's
I wish
is older than you.
I wish I could have thought of a Billy Connolly joke there and said that instead. But
Did you hear that joke?
what?
What did you say there, Paul?
Nah, I'm not repeating it, man. I regret it. And I was like, I think
Oh,
Billy
I did,
Connolly's
yeah.
Alzheimer's.
I did.
I love Billy. I love him.
So they are.
Do you know, actually, at the start, I was going to do the Sheriff Show with Billy Connolly. And then, but I didn't realise he had bad health.
Yeah.
So I didn't want to.
And plus he's like
Out of respect.
late 70s now.
Yeah, we're not ageist here.
That's true. Sorry. I apologise.
How long has that been?
55 minutes.
Really? Fuck. Well, I have nothing else.
Shooting the shit.
Nothing else in my little magic book here.
Did you enjoy it?
Yeah, it was good today, yeah.
Do you feel like we're becoming... I mean, since episode...
On my way walking in, a guy was sending me a message saying, I've been enjoying the last few and you're really starting to find your flow.
Yeah. Because since episode 1, I've classed you as a best friend. I know you've just warmed up to me recently. But I was all in episode 1, mate.
Yeah.
Yeah. All in.
Here we are. Who'd have thought it? Like Paul Rudd and thing. Just the two of us.
Yes.
Was that spicy ones? Hot ones?
Hot ones.
Hot wings?
Hot ones.
Hot ones.
I love that.
That is very, very good. I don't
Yeah.
think I've ever watched a bad one.
I don't think so either. And there's been some amazing ones like fucking stand out.
Yeah.
And people that you don't even think.
Who's the couple? There's a blonde haired guy. I'm sure he in like early seasons of Punk'd, and he's now married to an actress, like famous actress.
Ashton.
Dax Shepard and who's
Her
his
with
wife?
she's blonde hair. Blonde hair.
I've not seen that one.
Very good.
My
The Paul
phone's
Rudd
off.
one's really good.
Yeah.
Like, exceptional. Gordon Ramsay.
My lip. God.
Burst opener. Me and Dan did the... At the time, it was second for the top. And we did it, didn't we? On a chick
Oh,
one.
I thought you were
It
talking
wasn't
about hot ones.
the bomb. It was the one... Is there somebody coming in?
Wrong
Aye,
place,
mate.
fella.
So there's basically, I'm going to say this on this podcast. We're on the same street as a brothel. We're right beside a brothel.
That's the third time the day that's happened.
Yeah.
And I'm not even kidding on.
So a guy tried to walk into a brothel with a full blown erection, and we felt like saying Manscaped.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Get your Code Sheriff show.
We're actually running a joint operation. The guys have to come in here first, get trimmed,
Buy
and
them,
then
man.
go in
Buy
next
them,
door to the
Manscaped.
thing.
No, but we tried, I can't even remember what it was called. I've got it in the house, but at the time it was the one down for the top on Hot Ones. So it was in between the bomb and the last one, the
Yeah.
last dab. And it was, I mean, my fight or flight kicked on.
Are you all right with spicy foods?
I'm very good with spicy foods.
Really?
Yeah.
Do you know what? I feel myself struggling now, but I used to love it when I was younger. I don't know if my taste buds are changing, but I used to love spicy food, and now I try to
I
avoid
think
it.
struggle. I remember having a really hot. I definitely struggled the fact I'm talking about something I had in a restaurant. I had a really hot dish. Might have had like the 3 or the 4 chili markings beside it. And I remember that like blowing my head, like sweating for ages after it. So I think I would struggle
On Hot
on
Ones.
something like that.
I think there's, have you ever, is it Kendrick Lamar tried to do it backwards?
What you call him?
Someday.
That just reminded me of the what's his name? Russell
Russell
Speak
Brand.
English. Russell Brand. Have you watched him on it?
No.
He cruises it like nothing. Like doesn't flinch.
He's zen. That's the cold water. He does the cold.
And then one of the top comments in it was something like, I can't believe people are surprised how well he done it considering the amount of shit he's had in his body over the
Yeah.
years. I'm
Yeah,
sure that was
aye.
nothing.
Black tar heroin.
Yeah. Aye, what's a bit of hot sauce to an ex-heroin addict.
Yeah.
But one of them tried to do it backwards. So start with the hottest and they
Was
failed.
Kendrick Lamar on it?
I think it was somebody like that. I don't know, man. I'm not really up with fucking. But one of them, like, and it was like a hip hop guy, and
Yeah.
he tried to go for do it back to front. Oh, during lockdown, he was doing Nirvana covers and stuff like that on YouTube. He's got face tattoos and stuff like that. He's actually not black, he's white.
Post Malone.
Yes, it was him.
I love him.
He tried to do it, start with the hottest and failed miserably. So I think there's something to them building it up, starting with like
Okay.
a lot of heat, and then you gradate
yeah,
yourself
yeah.
up to it. But me and Darn just went straight in on a chicken wing, put the hot sauce on it, and sees when it touched my lips, like literally like my fight or flight kicked in. Like there was something in my body was like, get that to fuck. Like literally like tunnel vision and everything was like pure, had to like shake it off.
Wow.
It's pretty fucking spicy.
Right, I'll wrap it up here.
Yes.
Thanks for another great episode. Thanks for everyone liking and subscribing, and thanks everyone in the Turks and Caicos tuning in.
Yeah. Can I say something as well?
Yeah, say something the whole episode.
Like, people that are listening to this and watching this, like, I'm a stand-up comedian and I'm an actor. I'm not just a mad cunt for Glasgow.
Did you just want to say that?
Do you know what I mean? But
Do you want to put this in at the start?
because I kind of get the vibe that people are like, who's the fucking weirdo for Glasgow that you're doing a podcast with?
I get people saying to me like, how do you know Darren? So they'll know, like, people who are asking me that, they know who you are. And
Oh,
they're kind
right.
of trying to get the connection between what's the connection there?
Yeah.
So yeah, he's not just a guy here sitting in.
So I just had to clear that up. We're like 13 episodes in.
Yeah, so thank you to stand-up comedian, actor, and finally podcaster Darren Connell for this week's episode. And thank you, Paul, as well, for contributing today. See you all hopefully with a guest next week or next episode. Yeah. See you. Bye.